Well, my background and how I got into photography, when I was young, I used to go through my mom's magazines like crazy. And she had every magazine under the sun, like Vogue and Glamour and Cosmopolitan and, all those things. And I would just, even National Geographic, I would go through all those magazines and look at the pictures, and I would just, the images always like kind of inspired me. I loved look. I don't even know if inspired at the time. I was just a kid, so I would just go through them like over and over and over. And I loved looking at women in nice clothes and in different settings and all those things. And then, and my mom was really fashionable. Like she had racks and racks of designer clothes. So I mean, and she went to a lot of events and stuff. So I got to see her dress up. So I always liked glamorous, amazing things just from when I was a kid. And then as I got older, and like Charlie's Angels was on, and The Bionic Woman, and Julia, and all these shows that I saw, all these and oh my God, and Lola Falana. I mean, all these people had these glamorous, over the top, lifestyles, and I loved watching it. And then even something, my parents took me to see Liberace one time live, and just like the gaudy glamour of all that, I loved all that stuff. So as I got older, I started in high school, like started playing with cameras, and they had, photography classes in school, and I would take pictures of my friends, and I loved doing it. And everybody, even the teachers liked, when I did it. Then one time, a friend of mine, she married a guy who was on a soap opera. And we went down to Manhattan, we were in his penthouse, and they kept giving me the camera to take pictures of them, so I would set them up. And he kept saying, you really have an eye like a cameraman. Like you set things up really well. And so I thought, oh, maybe I do. And then when I got my first apartment, people came over and they said, like, everything in your house is its own little set. It's like you're doing everything, so you're gonna take a picture of it. I never knew I did that until I started looking around and realizing I could sit anybody in front of anything, and you could take a picture there. So that for me is like, I felt like I had like a natural eye. And that's what people kept saying to me, so I took their word for it. And these are people that were on camera a lot. So, and then about 8 years ago, I was given a nice digital camera, and I started playing with it. And a friend of mine needed headshots, so I took some photos of him, and I was editing them, and he was like, you're really good at this, and you should do this. And I said, well, I'd love to take pictures of, you're a dancer, I'd love to take pictures of you. And he's like, let's do it now. And he starts to get undressed. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Like, let me set up stuff before you get naked in my house. And then, but from there, I did a lot of photos of him. And then I started shooting all these friends of mine. And I did a show right from those photos. And I sold those first photos from a little digital camera that I blew up and edited myself. And I still like to edit myself. But I blew those up and sold them. And I had another show, and it just kind of rolled from there. It seemed not like work. It was just more enjoying my friends and creating this art together. So it's kind of like from being a kid and loving glamour to trying to make my friends look glamorous and enjoy the creativity of that. And it's turned into this other form of, career for me. My inspirations in terms of photography, I always liked Mapplethorpe because he did a lot of really beautiful black and whites and of bodies. I always like Herb Ritts because he has such beautiful contrast and vulnerability in his art. Mapplethorpe especially because he didn't mind pissing people off. So I don't mind having some provocative images. I like, not all sexual, but I mean provocative. Something that makes people look at it and they don't know if they love it or if they're offended. So stuff like that really inspires me. And that's why Mapplethorpe and Herb Ritts, because Herb Ritts has like the glamour side and the beauty and all that. And then Mapplethorpe had all the anger and the kind of underground, F you to the system that I personally get inspired by.
Maloy.
Well, right now I'm working on my own coffee table book, which I'm not going to say what it is just yet. I just finished a shoot with Derek Sellers. He's a choreographer, and he's putting together a book of photographers. I just finished a shoot with him. Me and Riley are working on another project. I am working with a few photographers talking about doing a show together. I'm building this website to try to launch this. There's a few really big things coming up, so I'm excited about that. I'd really like to thank my family. They gave me the first camera, the digital camera, so you know, thanks, and I made some money off of them. And then my friend Mark Washington, because he was this young guy who wasn't scared to get naked and let me take pictures and sell them. Riley for just inspiring me and being like fabulous and kind of hard-headed and helping me inspire. We kind of bounce off each other, so I'd really like to thank them and a few friends in DC, which is Terence Wiles and Demond, officially Mr. Bouvier, and Chris Deloach, some people that I've had the honor to shoot that I love working with. And some of the salons that I've worked with, because I've gotten a lot of chances to shoot other stylists, and I have a background in doing hair, so I can help them do their thing. So just those people especially.